You mentioned that you kind of was wrong.
Fear. You know, you have to listen to your body, and you know, fear is something that you know, you innately feel. You know, so right then and there, you know, something doesn't feel good and it's not right. And then, you know, having so much compassion for my mother and seeing, you know, when you see someone being hurt, someone you love, you know, I still, you know, at 42, I'm still affected by this. It's under the surface. Trauma never leaves you. You just figure out ways to try and heal it. And to me, it's therapeutic to speak about it. And I saw my mom, you know, go through so much that I think that instilled a level of purpose for me in the sense of I always want to try and empower other people and people in situations where they feel voiceless and unheard, and I just have such a deep-rooted need to try and, you know, use my voice, and I would later discover and understand what that meant to me. But a lot of healing and a lot of growth, and releasing, you know, a lot of anger comes with that, a lot of shame comes with that, but you know, it takes a lot for a woman to leave those situations as well, and my heart goes out because some of them don't leave them. And, you know, and that could vary in a lot of ways. You know, sometimes it's financial, sometimes it's fear of authorities not helping and then it getting worse, or, you know, sometimes sometimes it feels like there's no way out. But you know, my mom, luckily, you know, we would do these drives from, at the time it was the last straw, from Jersey to my grandma's in Pittsburgh, and we would just do these nightly, just me, her, and my little sister, and we would just like do the night. I talked about that before.
Yeah.
You're good, girl.
Yeah, fuck.
5 minutes in.
No, but I'm like, holy fuck, like, was that when you were still, your mom hadn't left your dad yet, but you were like, or had they left?
So when like, well, why don't you just leave? It is so much more complicated than that, and it's a mental breakdown of self-esteem, and you start to believe someone else's narrative and verbal abuse to you, and self-esteem is something that can break down so easily, even to the most powerful woman executive. It doesn't matter what you do. This, you know, we can go on stage and have these larger-than-life personas, but all it takes is for you to believe someone's negative narrative about you. Once it's in there and it's working its way in, that's why I'm like so adamant with my daughter. I'm just like, first time somebody ever hits you, the first time somebody makes you feel not right about yourself, woo, girl, I'm so protective, Mama Bear.
And when people say that, it's such an ignorant statement that like pisses me off. I had a loved one that was...
Yes, officially, when the abuse started to really turn onto me, you know, we were living in Japan for like 3 years, so we were super isolated, which is where I started singing. And looking back, that's where I started to I would like sing out of this window. I have like a thing about like windows, and like they just, when you're feeling just, you know, trapped, I don't know, there's something about the representation of a window and just like there's hope on the other side, you know. And so that's where I started, you know, singing these songs from like The Sound of Music, and just to myself, and just that image I'll always remember. It's like a core memory of just like there's like something on the other side, there's like a bigger world, there's a bigger purpose. I felt it at a really young age. Abuse runs rampant, you know. The walls are paper thin, you know, where we're living, and you can hear abuse just happening on the other side of the wall. You can hear, I mean, you know, it's terrifying, and it's like all you want to do is help, but a lot of times, even when you call the authorities, you don't get the help that you need, and then the door shuts and you're with your abuser again. So it's so important to try and research all you can, speak to people that you can trust, and really, you know, try and get yourself out of these situations, because, you know, worst case scenario, you won't, you know, live to tell the story about it.
Was it hard?
Still am, but you know what, in this role too, it comes with responsibility, and responsibility that, you know, I know is destined for me, and I take it on, you know, well. And so yeah, this is just like kind of like my role. Yeah. All my dogs are rescues, like, you know, I'm just that person.